Thanks to the opportunity. The end of today is about you. Not you as a footballer, you as a person. It just so happened that you're here because you are at the 70 footballer through the Barbados Football Association. But what we're going to do today, what we're going to try to expose you to today, is something that you can take for the rest of your life. And it's something that I learned at 13 years old. I never understood at 13 years old the impact it would make on the rest of my life. No matter what we share with you today, you decide how you will or will not use it. You don't control that, you control that. But what we guarantee you and promise you that we can share from our hearts. So, Mr. 60-year-old, yeah? Here's a question to you. One thing in this world that you can control. Oh, thank you. Good. So he says myself. You've been selected. One thing in this world that you can control. I control my actions. All right? Go Raps. The way I respond. The way I respond. Oh, how I eat. Good. My thoughts. My thoughts.
Where I go.
Where I go.
What I wear.
What I wear. My emotions. My emotions.
My behavior.
My behavior.
Who I hang around.
Who I hang around. That's just a coach. Pardon?
My environment.
My environment. Nicole, your turn.
Alright.
Where I work.
Where I work.
Where you manage that?
You know, emotions and feelings is two different things, so I don't want to put feelings.
Your feelings, I mean, my feelings.
The one that asked to go different.
Alright. Fitzgerald.
What I say?
What I say. My decisions. Go ahead. My reaction.
You're ready.
My health? Okay, cool. Alright. Anybody who hasn't shared yet, you have anything you want to throw in that you don't have on this board yet? Go ahead, buddy. My legs. I can squeeze in my waist here. Alright, cool. Alright. Now, my attitude. I want you to tell us, we're going to do this one-on-one. If you agree, yes. If you disagree, no. Do I control my weight, yes or no? Yes. Anybody that disagrees, shout loud, okay? Do I control myself?
Yes.
My actions?
Yes.
The way I respond?
Yes.
How I eat?
Yes.
My thoughts?
Yes.
Where I go?
Yes.
What I wear?
Yes.
My emotions?
Actually, not really.
Okay, cool. Good. Alright. Some people who said emotions? Who said emotions? Good. Stand, buddy. Alright. Tell them why you believe you control your emotions.
Because like friends, like hurt your feelings.
When you're
Like woman.
You're a woman. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. All right. No, stop standing again, buddy. When you come forward. Come forward. Yeah. Good. What's your first name, partner? Pardon? What's your first name? Kamari. Kamari.
Yeah.
Kamari, have you ever felt hurt in your feelings? No. All right, Kamari. I want them to show you. I want you to show them where your feelings are. It's cold. Right now. Where your feelings? Where your feelings? I'm going there. Have you ever felt feelings before? Do you have feelings for your girl? Nah. Kamari, sit down. Kamari, no, sit down. Come on, let me go. Kamari.
Kamari, go out there, Kamari. Come on.
Come back. Kamari, I want you to. Have you ever experienced any feelings before in your life?
Yeah, being love.
Being loved. Have you ever experienced loving anybody?
Nah.
How do you feel? You say what? I said repeat that. I didn't hear. You love your mother?
Yeah.
All right, but that's a feeling. All right, tell us where you feel that feeling. Show it to us. Y'all can see it, her? Go ahead. you can't see your heart, show them.
Can't show them.
Pardon? Inside your body. And here's what, Mary. Who controls the inside of your body?
You know what? And the organs and stuff.
Alright, forget what the organ part. Okay? Now here's what. So we can forget the organ, physical part. But the feeling part of the heart. Okay? Who controls that? I want to ask a question. Who controls that?
Me.
I asked you a third time. Who controls that?
Me.
Kamari, who make you love your mother? Sorry, Kamari, second. Where do you feel love? You love your mother. Who told me to control your heart? Who you told me to control your heart?
Me. God.
Somebody God, let me give you this one. Has God ever made you do anything?
Yes.
What God made you do?
Look at things better.
God make you look at things better?
Yeah, and pray and stuff.
Did you always look at things better? So when you didn't look at things better, who was responsible?
Me.
And so when you look at things better, who responsible?
Me.
So God had made you do anything? Okay. So come back now. Good. So who control your heart? So who made you love your mother?
Me.
Get it quiet? Kamari?
Yes, sir.
This was different but brilliant. Guys, what's the conclusion? Pardon? Louder. What's the conclusion?
You control your
Who controls your emotions?
You.
Who controls your emotions?
You.
No. Who controls your emotions? You.
myself.
Myself. You understand that? So here's what. He took us from a route that I didn't expect, but I think we get to the conclusion. And he's absolutely correct. Every single one of us, including coach, Malik, sorry, you call her. Every one of us controls our emotions and controls our feelings. Nobody had the power to keep inside of us. You also disagree with Kamar? Thanks, Kamar. God bless you, buddy. Come on. So here, do I control my emotions or not?
Yes.
When my emotions negative or responsible? When my emotions are negative, who responsible?
Yourself.
Me. When they're positive, who responsible?
Yourself.
Now, I want to be real honest with you guys. That's one of the hardest things to really understand in life and practice. So when we just went through that, and it's easy to say, next thing to do it. Okay? Alright, thank you.
The arrow,
Go.
we also have to be able to identify the feeling that we are, or the emotion that we are experiencing as well. So the problem can come if you can't identify with it, then you can't control it.
Maybe we can come back there. Oh, let's take a pin there and then we come back there, right? I want to go through the list first, okay? And then we come back there. So, do I control my emotions, yes or no?
Yes.
My behavior?
Yes.
Who I hang around?
Yes.
My environment?
No.
Who's that environment? Coach. Go ahead and explain that. You can stay there. You can yeah.
I think you control your environment because although you're in an environment, you can still control what happens in it. Like if it's a town, you make friends, and they're going to do something they should do. I could be saying not to do that. You control
So you're controlling yourself or the environment?
myself
In the environment. Okay, so let me be clear then. So I think what you're saying here, coach, is I control the environment I choose.
Right.
Alright? You all can accept that, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. You get ready, coach? Alright. Do I control where I work?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you can
Hold on a second. Now, she's not here. Guys, Nicole's not here, she stepped out, but here's what. Does she control where she chooses to work, or she controls the work?
We should choose the word.
So in that context, you can assume that she meant in that context, okay? Same thing about the environment. Alright? Do I control my feelings?
Yeah.
You already crossed that. Do I control what I say?
Yes.
My decisions?
Yes.
My reactions?
Yes.
My health?
No.
Yes.
Something the audio control.
Now, here's what.
Like ain't holding.
Explain who said health. Yeah, good, buddy. So, what do you mean by you control your health? But is that health? Is that if you control your diet and you control what you eat, yeah, and you exercise, does that guarantee that you control your health? So we can take our health from here, okay? We can put health on the other side. So what we control not so much our health, but we control our eating and diet, exercise, etc. Okay? But we are trying to influence our health.
Eat top already.
Huh? Eat on top, yes. Do I control my legs?
Yeah.
Mr. Legs. Some people questioning about like control your legs. What do you mean by that?
When you first learn to walk,
Yeah.
it's you that's walking, not your parents
Okay.
making you walk.
Okay. So you control how you use your legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you talk about legs, I'll put usage of and how you use your legs. Okay. All right. And then now, attitude. Do I control my attitude or not?
Yes.
All right. So the only thing that we have removed from here is health. Okay? All right. Samuel's going to take you through the next part. And while Sam, I want you to look at me, folks, I want you to look at this screen, okay? Read those, please. I control. Together. Mark, just make sure you read that one that you don't miss that. Read that one for us. Huh? Read the second last one for us.
Who I love, not love.
Good. Are you sure? Okay. And guys, are those statements on the screen much different from the ones that y'all came with in board? Huh? Let Jeremy tell you what happens every single time you do this. Yeah?
Well, there's always conflict because people believe they can control the remote control the TV, dogs. When we do adults, it's usually the children. And we all know that deep down inside it's a choice. This exercise is riveting, is meant, as Aaron said, when it comes to understanding, and it is understanding is about the internal aspect of it, not what people say, not what you do. Or when you can control how you respond to the environment, how you respond, how people deal with you, then you're in a better place of because up until then you may dictate the many things that this is very ironic because I'm still a working hour and I will work on the idea. What I would say is that my involvement with this program has been great for my personal development because I've come to clear understanding that the radio is not one thing I can control. That's me. So I've been trying for the last couple of years to do that. Try to help other people. But the radio is not one thing that I can control. The ones that are trying to really develop that.
Glad you mentioned that, Jerry, because that's the second thing I would want you to know. We look at some things that we can control, but with some things that we can't control. Who's ready to start? I think you should read it.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm probably better spend. Alright, see how over here?
Other people's actions.
Other people's actions. My guy. Alright, come tell me with something different. Alright, we can get back to you right after that.
No, sorry, I believe. Being
Get back to you, just so we get back to
you
this.
in charge, right? I step back.
Not yet. Alright. Other people's movements. Back to you now.
Other people's choices.
Life, okay. Somebody over here.
Other people's choices.
Other people's choices. Environment.
Yes.
Surroundings. Alright. That. Can't control that. This is assistant coach. Yeah.
Others are the choose towards you.
Others have to choose towards you. Mr. Dean Squares in the back, what can you not control?
Football.
Alright, Mr. Wally, can't control the future because you can't see what's going to happen next. Alright, who's next? Miss Manager,
Health.
can't control your health.
That's all original.
Alright, what can you not control? What other state? Alright, we love you, love you. Say that again? We love and don't love. Can't control the future. Alright, what else? Alright, so we got a list of things that we can and cannot control. We got everything wrong?
I think I missed one. What after what other thing? I missed what? Somebody said something.
Love or not love?
Pardon?
Love or not love?
Love or not love? That means who loves you, who don't love you.
Yeah.
Who does not love you? Yeah. Cool.
So let's go through the same process again in terms of what we agree with. So in terms of others' actions and movements, we all agree that you can't control that, right? Yeah. Somebody say it all?
No, it's meaning you can't control it.
Okay. Alright, what about life? Can we control life?
Yes.
Alright, what about life that you really can control?
It's your life. Like you're doing, like you can't control someone else's life, but you can control what you're doing in your own life.
Okay. So in terms of the actions that you take, your decisions, who you say to spend your day? Alright.
So I'll add my life here, as you just said, but I don't control life.
Alright, so you don't control if you wake up tomorrow and breathe or not. Some people have the idea, they might be good, so they have the same fit, and then tomorrow they just don't start, they just don't reboot like everybody else. Alright, so life in itself, breathing and just functioning, that in itself you can't control. You don't control if you're born or if your mother say, you know what, I can have my boy. You can't say, nah, you're not coming to Earth, and you just choose not to live that life. If that was your decision, then have no part. You end up being born, right? So you can't control life. What about others' choices? You can't control others' choices. So we all agree on that. Our surroundings, can we control our surroundings?
Yeah.
You say yes. Clarify your point.
Because like, if you live in like a shooting area, then you
Okay, you can control that. But
Yeah,
let's
but-
say you in, I don't know, Syria.
You can move.
You should still be able to move, right? But in terms of the shooting and all that, can you control if somebody shoot up and you're okay and take them on the block? Can you control that?
that's the action.
Okay then, so in terms of let me say you're a farmer, you can plant in the field, you can do things to make sure that the plants grow as best as possible for your end. But if, let me say, like hailstorm come and hit Barbados, which has never happened, or at least not that we know of, can we control if the hailstorm fall or not? So we can't control our surroundings, but we can definitely do our best to put ourselves in the best surroundings possible. What about that? Can you control that? No. Others' attitudes? No. The game of football?
Yeah.
Alright. What do you think you can control the game of football? You're a specialist in it, or at least trained to be, right?
Yeah.
Alright, but let's say you meet the team that plays for Russia, alright? On World Cup level, alright? Do you control if you win or lose?
Yeah. But you can't control the
good.
referee.
I love to hear that. That's the kind of mentality that you all need to have. Alright, let's say the rules of football. When the people who control the rules of football, when they set out those rules, can you control or can you go back now and change those rules? No. Alright, a yellow card is a yellow card, penalty is a penalty. So the game of football itself, you can't control.
But he said football, he said a ball, he said he can't control the ball. The ball.
Exactly. The ball.
Yeah, he's
Alright.
the ball.
So you can control the ball, but not the game of football. You can agree on that.
what does it?
The fella,
No, but Dante said yes. Why did you say yes?
I want to jump in, guys.
Jump in,
All of you who can control football, stand up.
This is a big question.
If a football has ever done something that you don't want to do, sit down. And here's the point. What you control is what you seek to do in football, but you don't really control the football. So it makes a difference. Yeah, whole set of factors. But what you're trying to do is to get yourself to a skill level where the football does whatever you want to do all the time. But you don't control it. You're trying to influence it. What you control is yourself at your skill level. And how well you put your skill level into practice. Two things. You were saying that.
I was going to ask you, what is the definition of that?
Yeah. That definition of control is that I absolutely determine.
And you absolutely is the important.
Yes. I absolutely determine. Cool? You go with you and then you go with Patrick. Go ahead. Yeah, buddy.
I kind of disagree. It's just like, you can control it, but you just need to know how to. Like, you could know how to perfectly play a pass and do it time and time again.
Yeah.
But if you know, like, if you're mentally strong enough to, like, make sure your body is set up in the exact perfect position to make that perfect pass, right angle, knowing, like, how to make the ball go exactly where you want it to go.
So let's go back to this study board now. What you're mentioning is control that. But again, what you said is very important. As long as you have that mental capacity and you push yourself to that state mentally, a whole lot of things become more possible. So if that's your goal, keep at it and keep pushing at it. And so many things can change. But the ball itself, you can't control. Alright, let's go through some fast
Patrick, say something before you move on to Zach.
Yeah, I just wanted to actually widen the debate as well when all the guys said that when they said the control the ball. I was going to ask one of them to please call one of them right the ball field. I just control it. If you man there, I come here, so that's why I just want to add a bit more on the controversial side of it.
Got you.
And just know, guys, what we're saying is that if you absolutely control the ball will only ever do what you want it to do. Okay? I mean, that doesn't happen. So we'll come back to this word later, but what you're trying to do, you're practicing so that you can have the greatest possible influence on the ball. And there's a difference between influence and control. Got that?
Alright, what about the future? Yeah, for the future. And what about our health? Do we 100% on if we can control health or not? Alright. What about what others think? Can you control what other people think? Alright. What about the weather? And the last one. Can we control who loves us or who doesn't love us?
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking too.
Expand a little more.
That'd be great.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's your name, by the way?
Oh, mine? Chen.
Huh?
Chen.
Chin, love the fact of you keep thinking and being able to question. So don't stop throwing out your questions, okay? Continue.
Nah, boy. Go ahead.
It's like,
You see, man?
Hold
on, it's a 50-50 ball.
I'll pass it to Valdo.
I ain't know nothing. I was having long parties for you.
Nah, good morning, though.
Alright, don't worry about that. Listen, we're all here to learn from each other and to express. You may not get it first in break time, but the more you talk about it, the more we can help you get the idea formed to where you want it to go. Alright, so let me hear you first, Rap, what you're thinking. You go there. Check. Second, we'll hear you next. You go ahead.
Yeah.
What's your name, boy?
My name is Christian, but
Christian, alright.
long say Bada. Bada, yeah.
Are you a Christian?
Like, people look a certain way. I'm pushing, like, you just be here cool and I think, okay, me.
Alright. Are you ready? Alright.
I'll say it in easier terms. Like you can make somebody not love you. You can do things that you know like another human being will not enjoy you doing.
Okay.
So yeah, I can annoy somebody and they're gonna hate me, and I know and I'm annoying them knowing that they are going to not like it.
Okay. So again, what is that? That is your actions and how you set a response to that person's either affection or disdain towards you. Alright? Those are the things that you can control. Whether you influence that relationship to be something that they enjoy being with you or they can't stand your own. As you mentioned your name there, open your door. Alright? So that again is on you. But let's say, alright, we can all more or less say mother's love is probably one of the purest forms of love, right? Grandmother too. Now may be 2 times better. Alright, are there things that you've done in your relationship with your mother that she didn't approve of, or you've done deliberately that she was upset about and that she still loves you?
Yeah.
Okay. So and that comes down to any and every relationship. Persons in our lives can do things that make us feel more affectionate towards them or not as affectionate towards them. Alright? And at the end of the day, we decide in our heart of hearts whether we decide to love them or not. Your girl, she might tell you off, but you decide if you want to be in that relationship with her or not. Understand? So we can control how we interact with persons. And we can do our best to either make them love us or hate us. But at the end of the day, if the girl don't want you, ain't nothing that you can send her. No matter how much words you got, she is still not going with you, and that's it. You understand, right? But you can do your best. You can improve yourself, you can bring the best in and all that, but at the end of the day, it's her decision, just as it's your decision to love her. Alright, so that is that's what we cannot control generally and what we cannot control. If you look at these 2 lists, right? If you look at these 2 lists,
before you went this,
how different is this from you guys saying? And is there anything on this list that you don't agree with? They look pretty similar, right? Because this attitude, whether the future or what happens to that.
Just like that.
Huh? Okay. So we could freely say that. What we have here and what we have here are fairly similar. And from, let's say, about 5 years, 6 years or so that I've been working with Arrow, and from how long he's been doing that before, these answers are similar. We get persons hitting this general ballpark when it comes to things that they can't control. And you all have done the same thing with this list here. So what does that say? We think the same, that's a possibility. Any other thing that comes to mind when you look at these lists and how similar they are, what the age is, and what we do here today? Say it again? You understand certain things generally. Who else is speaking?
That what we can and can't control the same.
It's the same. So, you know what I'm saying?
With everybody.
With everybody. So it would be safe to say that these are general truths. It's a general baseline principle that most persons would agree with when they really come and think about it. It's a foundational truth.
and I've been doing it 26 years full time from this year, guys. And we do this with 8-year-olds, primary school students, secondary school students, do it in prison, outside of prison, Barbados, Barbados, executives, non-executives, doesn't matter. and the answers never change. Almost always the same. I can tell you that the ones that will always influence the greatest discussion is in the first one, it'll be thoughts and feelings. And that happened today at the very offset. We didn't have the question about thoughts, but we had the question about feelings. And then on this list that you see it now on the screen, the one that stirs the greatest discussion is for parents to accept that they can't control their children. That's the great biggest discussion. And what we said is that we can't control your child. Just like your manager, your coach, your teacher can't control you. What we try to do is to influence you. But you choose whether you obey or not. And so, I have 3 daughters. My daughters are 24, 23, and 20. And I tell Sophia, Melissa, and Sarah, from the time that they were born, even before they can understand me, I'm your daddy. I have authority over you, but I can't control you. What I control is the example I set, and how I seek to influence you. And I try to learn how to be the best influencer whatsoever. But what I control is the consequences. Well, you're my child. So if you want good consequences, make whatever choices. And if you want tough consequences, make whatever choices. Bad choices. That in your hands. And I will never hesitate to put consequences into place, whether good consequences or tough consequences. Your choice. And the same applies to every single human being. Okay? So, we have the list. Whose answers are these? Whose answers are these? Have you taught you anything? No. Yes. Right, Tony? Here's what? I taught you that? But you learned something. But here's what they do with you when you're up here. No, what they do. But I taught the influence, what they do. I asked the question, who gave the answers? Who gave the conclusion? So who taught him? Understand the point? And you guys, when you stop and think, you know the answers, and you have done a really good job today actually. Excellent job. Yeah? And we haven't had the only thing that we challenged you all to change today was that one health. That's the only one. Everything else is hit on the nail. Now, it's one thing to stop in a room and think and come up with wise ideas and suggestions. There's another thing to stop and think every single time in your life and make only wise choices. Will you control that? Who's self? Myself. So, let's look at the conclusion, gentlemen. You going to do the conclusion? So what's the conclusion? Alright? So you can pick one for the left hand side, one for the right side.
What's the conclusion? Yeah. When you sum it up, you put it in a sentence. What's that sentence saying?
If you take the left hand side of the screen, yeah? Take the left hand side of the screen. That and the one on the left hand side of the flip chart. But what's it really saying? Who owns your control?
Yourself.
Who taking it right? This one because he head down.
Exactly.
Yeah, good.
That's good.
What's the name, buddy? Huh?
Yeah.
Jaden, go ahead, Sammy.
Alright, when you look at this side of the board and left side, or right on the screen, in general, what can you not control?
Time is only one thing, they want to summarize it. What I'm really saying, who or what can Jaden? Who or what can Jaden not control?
Yeah, everything but myself.
Yeah, he's a good listener and repeater. so guys, here's the conclusion. The only thing in the world that I can control is who? The only thing I can control is who? Go again! Alright. And now Look at the right hand side. I cannot control. I cannot control. One last time. I cannot control. Yeah, right? Y'all just come to the conclusion that every other group has come to. Samuel said it's a fundamental truth. But the one thing I do is to put it in practice. And today, we are here to try to influence, or trying to be an influence. And you recognizing this, and putting it into practice not just as a footballer, but as a human being. If you can believe this, and make this foundation in your life, not one of you have any idea how phenomenal your life could be. Today we challenge you. Yes, sit on this room and get it right, and then be able to get it right outside this room, and in every aspect of your life, every single connecting aspect.
I would just like to highlight, I'm actually going to ask Sammy to tell us a bit about what happened after you first understood this in your life. What happened in your life?
So I guess the story was I was in 06 at the time, yeah. 06 at Lodge. And there was a prefect somewhere. We usually pick from the senior, but I had 1 or 2 persons a year on that I chose, and it was one of them. And we had a workshop to kind of prep everybody for the whole role of being a prefect, being responsible, not just for ourselves, but trying to influence everybody else in the school to, live their best life with discipline and all that. So I was there, and I heard Errol's story, and how he then had that same process of going through the decisions that he made and how it didn't affect him. And I told him, I think a year later or so, year and a half later, right, I took it up and ran. So one of the things I realized I was struggling with, even as a younger person that was going to be a prefect, was speaking to people. I was fairly shy. Like if I knew for a good 5 years, so it would be cool, we would laugh, we would make jokes, but if I am in a new environment and I don't know that well, at that point in time in life, I was just a quiet person to a person that didn't know me. And it was just difficult for me to relate to people and to break the ice and do all of that. So I wouldn't necessarily be able to do this with you at a decent level at that point in time in life, because I was more or less shy. But I decided I wanted to change that. I knew I had the potential to communicate with persons. I knew I could listen to people and understand where they were coming from, and I could give good advice. I could just be a people's person if I chose to, and that was not a decision I was making at the time. So one of the things that I did, by decision, one of the hardest decisions, a couple of friends had influenced me to do it also, was to join the debate club, because I knew for sure that that would push me to get out of that comfort zone and bring education to another level. And at first, I was horrible at it, I can't lie. Every time I look back at the video clip from that point in time, I would cringe because it was just horrible. My lips would dry up, and I would forget the points I was supposed to make and the order, the quotes and all that. I would go with it. I was just terrible, but I chose to keep going and keep training, keep practicing. Another relationship in life that I had at that point in time was my relationship with God. I would have grown up in church and all that, learn the good book, but I didn't necessarily take it seriously because I was just something that was expecting me at that time. And then I realized that if I was going to do the God thing, if I was going to do the whole idea of living under these principles and values, it had to come from a real place, because if I wasn't doing that, I would just be a hypocrite. If it wasn't real or personal to me, then why? So that took me through a whole process of me knowing the Creator for myself, and not just understanding that there's a higher power, but understanding that I had access to that higher power, and that it was my duty as a man, as a young boy coming up, to connect with that higher power in order for me to gain power, in order for me to understand my life and to live it as best as possible. Because just like you said, we do things sometimes that people can either choose to love us or hate us for, and we interact with a person a certain way, and I understood that all those things need to change. And if I was to change that as best as possible, it would be to get help from that higher power. So my relationship there went up, and through those choices that I made, my schoolwork started improving, and a lot of other areas in my life started moving to the point where one of the teachers that was in the debating society at that point in time said, you know what, Sam, I see the improvement. We're going to choose you to go and represent Barbados overseas. And I was like, well, my parents don't got that kind of money, and like, I not necessarily the best being on the stock at that point in time. But then realizing the transition that I've been going through so far, I decided, and I chose, let me have faith in this God that I choose to serve, and let me have faith in myself and my abilities and where I was and where I plan on going, and let me see what can happen. And through, again, my decisions, and me choosing to work on that end of the environment, and then also my community, people around me that chose to support me, I was able to go to 3 countries in Europe, Austria, the Czech Republic, and Germany. And that was my first time outside the region. I would probably travel to 2 Caribbean islands before that. When I was like a little boy, you could hardly remember those trips. But that was like the first time as a 17-year-old leaving the island, leaving the region, leaving the tropics, and doing something different. But as I got into that room and we spent time in the different hotels and preparing for the debates and all that, I realized something that I guess allowed me to change my mindset forever. When I spoke with these young men, these young women, some of them, they knew 5 languages and they could speak them fluently. Some of them had parents that were really rich. And this one guy, I think he was from Lebanon, he was living in Dubai at the time. He moved back to Lebanon since. My guy, he drives around in a Porsche, and that's his deal. Alright, so their parents were like on that high level, that high status, and then there were persons like on all of the forms of the spectrum, right? But we're all there together in that space. But when I spoke with them, I realized they're not that different from me. Some of us like the same things, some of us think the same way, and we act the same because we're around the same age. And what I was doing there in terms of debates and learning about politics and the refugee crisis and all that, I was able to bring to the table, sometimes was even better than what they could bring to the table. Sometimes my mindset and my ability to think sometimes outdid theirs if it wasn't on par, or sometimes because that happened too, can't lie. But I realized then that, hey, my friends back in Barbados, if they were in the same position and they had the same mindset, they could do the same thing, if not better. I'm no better than them, and if I'm here and I'm doing so well, they can do the same thing. And if my friends can do it, when she's already, the whole lodge can come here and do it. The whole of Barbados, youth in Barbados, can go anywhere in the world, and with the right mindset and the right thinking, they can operate on the highest level, at the highest standard. And it all comes down to our mindset, how we choose to carry ourselves, how we choose to believe in certain circumstances, and how we choose to respond to those circumstances when we're faced with them. So coming back to Barbados, that was one of my main goals, realizing that we have a whole lot of potential here in the Caribbean. We have a whole lot of potential here in Barbados. And it's only when we decide to switch on the potential and work towards it and make the most of the situation that we find ourselves in, that we can raise to the very top. I've been to other countries since then. Just last year, I was able to represent Barbados at the Commonwealth of Parliament. And again, in a very similar situation, do as best as I possibly could. And that comes from, again, me deciding to tap into the higher power that I know is God, and follow the teachings of Jesus Christ, allow me to be the best person possible. And then also my mindset, how I choose to deliver, how I choose to perform every time I get the opportunity. She herself chose to have a different approach to the whole scenario, right? But that was what was going on at 10 o'clock, right? I still got study, I still got the UK exams and all that. And then I go to school the next day after saying that, right? And they go out, like, influence 2 fellas not to fight over a girl, or not to give teachers stress, or to make sure that they carry themselves the best possible way, right? Now my environment said that I should be okay with fighting because that's what I see at home. Alright? But I have to decide how I want to live or operate, and how I want to influence others to live or operate. Alright? There was a whole lot of stress going on there. I was trying to study and do all these different things and be at all these different places, and that come with the responsibility of being a head boy and still try to run cross country and whatnot for the school. And then me and my whole outlook to all of that became really stressful. That is in itself a stressful environment. And me in it could choose to be stressed. And at some point in time, because I didn't understand this message as good, I didn't practice it as much, I became stressed out. And it got to the point where, like, for a couple of weeks or so, I had a little cough, you know, like I didn't necessarily feel like, but I just had this little cough, right, and my head would hurt sometimes. And then this one evening came home from school and coughed. And when it spit out, like, when it was coughing, like, it was blood in it because of the level of stress that I was going through at the time and how I was choosing to deal with it. Alright? Then on top of that now, like, I decided, you know what? I could choose to allow this to stress me out. I could choose to allow the fact that because my parents ain't working as a team, sometimes after doing all this, I come home and there's nothing to eat, there's no food. I could choose to either like, allow myself to just give up or whatever, or I could keep myself as focused as I possibly can in this environment and make the most of it. And I chose the latter. We don't always have the best environments. We don't always have the best equipment. We don't always have the best football shoes. It's how we choose to deal with those circumstances. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm the very exact same person that went overseas and spoke with eloquence to all these different people and studied on the ramifications of global warming and climate change and the refugee climate and how that, all that smartness, and they still deal with the same thing at home. And they still going outside and playing football with my friends. Couldn't play as well as y'all, but try to. And all these things happen at the same time, right? And then it's still me at the end of the day. All these things are still true. But it's how I choose to operate in every single one of those environments. And although life doesn't necessarily give me the best time, it's how I choose to operate in spite of all of that. I cannot control my environment. I cannot control if my parents fight and cuss off and if the police come at me and all that. But I control how I handle my room. If it's going to be tidy and clean, if I'm going to carry myself as tight as clean as possible, if I'm going to allow myself to be pressed and wear my clothes anyhow and looking musty, and if I can control that, let me do my best in this corner. If I could choose my dream and then choose to be a diplomat and I dream to be a diplomat and represent Barbados in any circumstance or any place internationally and ensure that the deals that are made and Barbados is in the talk, that we as Barbadians make sure that we get the best possible deal out of that. If that's my dream and that's what I want to go to. Although my circumstances at that point in time, although my circumstances now, although they will prove still not the best, I choose how I move towards my dream and how I handle my circumstances currently. You choose your dreams. You choose how you respond to the circumstances that you live in currently. You can't control your environment because it is what it is. But how will you respond? Are you going to choose peace or are you going to choose to be stressed out and vexed and angry? When somebody cusses you or your girlfriend or your friend, your best friend sometimes, because sometimes it's the ones that are closest to us that tell us the most hurtful things. Are you going to choose to allow yourself to feel hurt? Or are you going to allow yourself to have the best possible approach and I choose towards that person regardless? I spoke about consequences earlier. When we look at different things that happen because of our environment, when we respond to them, are our response going to get good consequences or bad consequences? When we're on the field and we maybe down a goal or maybe 2 goals, all right? Are we going to decide to work as a team and try to coordinate with each other and communicate as best as possible so we get a leg up? Or are we going to say, we already lost, we can give up? All right, things going to get rough. And they don't always go as planned, or we don't always find ourselves in the best footing. But how will we choose to handle that circumstance? You're going to let the stress get to you, and you go in the hospital or something because you're not training properly, you end up pulling muscle because of all the anxiety and stuff, you're moving as smooth as you can, and then you end up hurt. Or is your mindset going to be in a place where, you know what, this is my circumstance, let me make the most out of it. So no matter what happens in myself, in my body, I'm going to give my best. And then you're less likely to have injuries. What consequence do you want? What consequence do you want to deal with? Aaron?
Is one of the most fundamental principles in life. Dean, anything you want to share before we take a break?
I might not be here after the break, so I just want to say to you guys, I'm making most of this opportunity because the skill, actually after you get to a certain level, you realize that basically players can have similar skill sets, similar strength, working on the same programs. And a lot of times what separate or create the elite players is what is going on up here. When you begin to understand that you can control yourself, you can't control others, that's what separates you. I was in the junior basketball program as a player, and I believe that's where the advantage I had on other players because I started basketball late, but up here was always going, and that would cause me to get into the national program from the very beginning and begin to separate me. And I was fortunate to come back as a coach, and 20 plus years later, to be an assistant coach with the junior basketball program. And when we went overseas and we began to play against those other players, same thing that Jonathan was saying, I mean, look, we got these similar skill sets, similar strength, not the similar height though, but you can make up for that with some other physical attributes. But what we realized is the separation was that mental preparation a lot of times. And those guys believe in themselves, believe that they had the same matter. So just hope that we can take the same beyond your skill set and realize this is not only a session that was organized for me, but this is what could help me to separate and go to another level, not only in Barbados, not only regionally, but even internationally. So,
Thank you. Fabian, anything before we take a break?
Just listening to the guys talk today, what I would say is that what you're learning is kind of like a superpower. Because you learn that you are in control of you, you're not in control of anybody else, but your opponents don't necessarily know that. So from where you stand, you can get into their heads, but they can't necessarily get into yours. So depending on what's happening out there on the field of play, certain things you see, certain things you do may affect your opponent in a way that causes them to respond negatively, but that does not necessarily mean that things that they see and do will cause you to respond negatively, because you understand that you have the power of choice. You understand that you are in control of the situation at all times. So I think that's one of the things that I really want to stick. You guys want to go over here? What was your name again?
Sure.
Shay? Shay was saying, I think it was, you can behave in such a way that may cause other people to not love you. So my second point is that, when you said that, I thought of Christ on the cross. And the last thing he said, after these people behaved in such a way that what may cause him to not love them was, Father, forgive them for they know not what they do. Same thing with Stephen, when he was being stoned. So regardless of what a person does to you, you still are in control of how you respond to that situation. And I just think that's a superpower.
What we propose now? Unless Jeremy got anything once very quickly, Jeremy.
yeah, I feel like to say something. I feel a lot of energy in most people. 17 is a great age, and the reason why I won't say this is because it was at 17 that I started to take myself seriously, right? As a cricketer. And I would say this, if you talk to most of the people in my era, in my generation, they would say to you that I should say grace to West Indies. And I can tell you that I for sure I had no clue. Right? And so one of the things that I've learned from my professional career, from playing, I played against the best cricketers in the world. And I would say this, confidence is really important. Right? I feel your energy. Right? I feel your energy. Right? But self-belief is based on specific things, right? What this program is about self-development. I'm trying to teach you how to think in a practical way. But Aaron made the point. You good here now. A minute to go, and we got Canada ball. And the referee keep flag down. Who the defenders? You see defenders. That's me defenders. The man is clearly offside. Right? Flag down. Who we can do? Or you for a referee? You may get back next game. That's it. If you argue with the referee, what you can do when the ball start back, when the football start back? You focus on one thing, right? You know what we got to do? Going to like that? What we mean? Play this one here. Right? You got focus, right? I feel your energy, brother. I play a little football. I play for a soccer player, right? Second division, right? I understand football. I believe that Barbados has as talented footballers as anybody in the world. Yep. Right? We want it. We want it.
Yes, sir.
The defenders can say, do we want it, fellas? Yes, sir.
I'll tell you one thing when he can talk to you. Is he break? See him? Let me feel it. I didn't say that. We've been friends since primary school. The only body that stopped him from playing for the West Indies is who? Which part of him? Which part of him? Mindset. We've been friends for almost 50 years. I can still tell you that he's one of the best batsmen I ever saw. A lot of people probably did the same thing. But I forgot what he said. It's what caused him not to be able to play. But you know what he can do now? He can talk to you and anybody else and encourage that you don't make this mistake. That you get it right from now. God bless you guys. Here you have lunch. Okay? Go back. What do you imagine the impact that could be for your life? One, you said that you can control yourself, and then two, you manage your own emotions and feelings. What do you imagine the impact could be for you in your life?
Better mentality, more self-control, more self-discipline.
Okay, cool. Any questions, Sam? For him?
Alright, let me say you understand that you have this level of control over the managing emotions, all that. Where do you see that taking you, let's say 5 years from now? What's the kind of person you're going to become at that point?
Better version of myself.
What does that look like? Yeah, evolution.
That's what overall and everything is like career, choice,
That's good. What's some of the career choices that you're looking at right now?
football, obviously, but
Right.
I was going to play it, but I didn't.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not? I want to be a pilot too. I don't necessarily into television, but I still pushing for that.
That's too much. 10 years in school, that's too much.
Is it too much, or you choose to make it too much?
No, not the 10 years more. I don't know. Secondary school,
Alright, that's your choice. Understand that that's your choice, and if you don't become a pilot because you choose not to, and you've chosen that's too much time for you, and therefore you can't become a pilot. Alright, so that's where the mindset comes in. Alright, so but what you choose to achieve and what you decide to then go through to get there. It's not going to be easy, but your decision comes down to what you do, and then you're responsible for whatever happens in life after you make those choices. Alright, bro? Blessings.
Right? And note something, huh? You said you all want to be a pilot, okay? And the only thing that's stopping you is not that you don't have the skill or the ability, but the only thing that's stopping you is you telling yourself 10 years is too much. Just realize that.
I didn't really gain anything.
Okay. And why do you say that?
I already knew that. I could only control myself.
Okay. You already knew that. Are you controlling yourself? Are you the best you that you can be?
Probably not.
Okay. And who's stopping you from being the best you that you can be? Okay, why? Come back. If you're not sure, who will know? Okay, who else will know? You and God. So here's what. If you know that you're going to control yourself, okay? And every choice has a what? So what you're saying to us, you're not always making wise choices. Who suffers when you don't make a wise choice? Why do that to yourself?
Well, I wouldn't really be aware that it's not the best choice.
Okay. Who's responsible for your level of awareness?
Myself.
Okay, good. So here's what. Do you accept now that you have responsibility for your choices?
Yeah.
Alright, here's the question. What type of consequences do you want in life?
Good consequences.
How often?
All the time.
So if you want good consequences in your life all the time, what should you do?
Make good choices.
Well, how often?
All the time.
Who in control of that?
Myself.
Yeah? Now, look on. So here's what. Relate that to football. Okay? What type of choices are you to make on the football field?
Good choices.
Pardon?
Good choices.
How often?
All the time.
Why?
For good consequences.
And what the consequences do you want?
Wait.
And when you don't make wise choices in the football field, who does it affect? Who else does it affect?
Myself.
Is that important?
Yeah.
Because when you don't make good choices in life, the team of life also is impacted. With your family, your community, your friends, etc., etc., etc. So this principle is no different than on the football field. And if you learn how to practice it in life, then it becomes easier to also do it on the football field. Whose choice is it? The ball is in whose court? They're looking forward to see what you do from here on. Anything you want to say to the gentleman before you move from the front?
Make good choices.
What's your commitment? What's your commitment?
Make good choices.
To who?
Myself.
And who else to benefit? And
Myself.
everybody's tonight.
Right.
Yeah? But here's what. If you could encourage the team to make wise choices, good choices, then you will be the example. Cool?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Rivaldo.
Rivaldo. Okay, Rivaldo. Anything that you've taken away from the first session? Yeah. I don't make it. Just speak from your heart.
We have a choice. Me in life. Whatever decision I make, there's always can't be great.
That's right.
Yours, consequences for myself.
And what is the significance of that to you, Rivaldo? What is the significance of that to you? What does that mean to you in your life? If you say that's what you walk away from this morning.
No. Not to really always make good choice or a good decision.
Anything else you want to say to the group?
Good decision bring good consequences.
I want all you to repeat that, guys. Repeat that, please. Come on, you must go again. Go one more time. And that's said by whom? Huh? Rivaldo what? So what we're gonna go through now and get as far as we can this evening until we break at 3:45 is some of these 10 messages. Okay? And note that this session is not a lecture, it's totally interactive. Okay? So it can continue the same way. So, message number 1. Somebody read it.
I have you. We all have the power of choice.
I have, you have, we have all have power.
Tell us what I say, Steve.
Good choice.
Tell us what I say, Steve.
Everybody got equal choice.
That's what PhD says. And that is it. That is it. Yeah. Now, and what's the implication of that?
We all have, what's the name? We all gonna make choices, can't make choices for other people.
I know somebody, he said we all got to make choices. Yeah? We all make choices all the time. We can't even get rid of choices. Life is choices. The question is, what type of choices are you making?
Good choices. All the time. But sir.
Yeah, fine.
But you know, right?
Yeah.
In life, all the time it's good to make that bad choice.
Tell me one bad choice that you get to make.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good.
Tell me one bad choice it makes sense to make for you.
It just happened that day. Yeah, it just happened.
But here's what, no, it never happens.
Or the football.
Go ahead.
So you got this pass and beat the coach, that means to make this pass.
Yeah.
But you know that the big is just to make this
Yeah.
pass. But then if I got another pass that I think I'm really like.
Yes.
And I made that pass.
Yeah.
And first you get it.
Yes.
So you can pass it.
Is it necessarily bad decision because you did different than what the coach told you?
But that's what I'm saying.
I want to be clear. Pardon?
Listen to what the coach is good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the moment, who has to make the choice? Who has the ball? Me. Or who gonna make the choice? I understand that every choice got a consequence.
Yeah, but that happens to you, but the other day you play ball one way, you play the next time you score, always score back, but you'll still think you know.
Yeah. And guys, no, that's a consequence. One consequence is scoring a goal. Alright? But and in life also note something else, guys, is the consequence of the person with authority over you. Okay? So even you score the goal, you disobey the coach, and the coach decides that a consequence is taking you out, so be it. But you can't control that. What do you control? And the choice in the moment. That part you control. And I'm not promoting disobedience to your coach, but just highlighting the point that the coach is going to try to influence you in everyone else's life, but you have to make the decision in the moment. And I hope that we all can learn to make the right decision in the moment. Now, what's the importance of recognizing that we have the power of choice? What's the importance of it? What's the importance of recognizing that you have the power of choice? What's the importance of recognizing that you have the power of choice? What?
Knowing that you don't depend on other management.
No, you have to depend on other people. Confidence. You can relate to what you can control and control the thing you control, which is yourself. Okay? I take greater responsibility. Okay? But what we highlight here in this message, when you were seeing it in school, it was just being, I have the power of choice. We expanded out of I have, you have, we all have the power of choice. And so what we want to recognize, which may sound obvious, so you recognize that you got the choice, but you got to recognize what else?
That choice got consequence.
That choice of a consequence, and what we want you to recognize with this message. Everybody else has it. Everybody else has it. And have you ever made foolish decisions in your life?
Yeah.
Alright, everybody else made foolish decisions too.
Yeah.
We all got a choice. But we can come back later to what we do. So everybody repeat number one, please.
Oh, yeah.
Together.
We all have the power of choice.
Don't ever forget that. And remember it for the rest of your life. And then decide how you're going to use it. What age did you all learn this at? Pardon? 13. I ain't getting right now to the difference has been in my life. But it's something I now teach it full time. I've been teaching it full time for the last March 1st is 26 years. I gave up a job earning $10,000 a month, which I had an age 32. To dedicate my life to this. I didn't know it would turn into the power of choice. But trust me, Jay, this is real. And too many people don't recognize it.
So you would say that's a bad choice?
Pardon?
Say that's a bad choice?
I think it was a phenomenal choice. Phenomenally good.
Oh.
Yeah. Hard financially, but this is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life. Sure. Yeah.
Happy?
Happy? I'm not happy to you. I'm not a hypocrite then. But I feel it in my heart. Yeah? And it's funny you ask that question because the gentleman next to you said that his passion and his dream was always to be a pilot. Yeah? But he said it take me 10 years to give it up. My dream and my passion when I learned that happiness is a choice. At 13, I learned how to be happy for 13, no matter what. My dream is to help as many people as possible to learn how to be happy. But I told myself I could make money. So I was a financial controller at 25. I gave it up. I went to Canada MBA at age 27. Gave up $4,000 a month, a company car, and a $21,000 Christmas bonus. Because I had a dream and a passion. I had a what? A dream. I had a what? I what? I want before that. I'm good. And so what I do? My dream and passion? Pardon? No, why give up? I wanted, but it wasn't like giving money, you know. I never thought that I could be a finance controller at age 25, the youngest finance controller who holds on to companies at 25. Never looked that way for greatness as well. But after doing it for 2 years and saw how a lot of people weren't happy at work, and I wanted to create a happy company, I gave it up to go do an MBA thinking that would help me to be skilled to be able to become a general manager quick. And then I could then be in control of the decisions of the company and help people to make it a happy company. So that's why I gave it up, because I had a what? And thank you very much. And so I went to Canada. I had no idea that because of that attitude I learned from what age? That I would become York University first ever exchange student to Chulalongkorn in Bangkok, Thailand. And the first black man ever to go to Statue Graduate Business School. Because I followed my what? And my what? And my passion. Good. Alright? I hear that? What?
But it was years ago.
Okay, cool. All right, you make excuses. That's all right. So here's what, gentlemen. I never applied for a job yet. Huh? I got asked to be the finance manager of Fortune 500 company at age 29 when I came back. And I had no idea, now before applying for the job, that in 1994, they would make me their youngest general manager in 27 countries around the world. A $2 billion company called Ecolab. Because of the decision started at what? 13. And I didn't give up on my what? Dream. And my passion. Can anybody tell me I can? Can. Who responsible? Huh? So here's what. Oh, by the way, I was a cricket fanatic. I put a lot of effort in cricket. My skills, they match my passion for cricket. But I was the first 12th man or 30th man. I practiced every day. And I was the last one to leave. And when the game time came, I was the first to be there. Pardon? I mean, sometimes. But I didn't get to have the dream. I wasn't as good as that confounded man as in the dream. Yeah. But quickly, guys. But he could tell you I was a cricket fanatic. You know what I always was? I was always the best fielder. Why? Why was I best fielder? Determined. Pardon? Determined effort. But did I always score the runs? Or hit it against? But down, if it comes close to me, I can stop it, I can catch it. Because I had what? I won. Even at practice. I practice hard at practice. Yeah? Who take all the shadow shots in the mirror all the time? No, me. I know we did his bird, did with him.
It starts from before practice though.
Yeah. But yeah, in your mind, it starts in your mind. Yeah? But quick correction, guys. At age 30, that company, I told you that, I said that part last just now. At age 32, oh, I think you will love this part. At age 32, April the 30th of 1995, my wife told me something. I know my marriage over. And I know my marriage based on a lie. And most people tell me that I get what? How you don't get? Yeah, quick. Hey, what guys? How long do you think my pay last? How long do you think my pay last? 2 weeks, man. Quick, try again. A year, man. Try. I did. How long my pay last? Yeah? You go from a year to a night. Let's do it. It lasts 11 hours.
You didn't lose it.
Why did it last 11 hours?
You wasn't in love. You wasn't in love.
You wasn't interested. Here's my nerves, gentlemen. Gentlemen, here's my nerves. This thing's so powerful.
So wait,
That, go ahead.
so for that 11 hours of code, what you think?
Is that focus on her, who I can't control. But I came to the point of message number 4, and I practiced message number 5. Peace became my good friend.
Wait, camera shot, right there, the camera.
So we can do message number 4 and message number 5. Okay? But that's the day. Who was it that came from? Who came from earlier in the very beginning? Yeah? Remember asking about feelings? Because I believe up until that day that nobody can hurt my inside. But after I went through this big walk that I never dreamed of, a broken marriage, and getting what? Married. And then when I began to practice what I'm teaching you guys now, the pain disappeared. So from that day, I wanted everybody who I could help to realize that inner pain is a what? Inner pain is a what? Choice. Nobody can hurt your heart, mind, or spirit. Okay? And that's where it began. But last thing, guys, I'm living in Jamaica. Youngest general manager, 27 in this company world. One of only 2 black general managers in 27 countries in the world. And company car, everything paid. They pay all the housing for about $1,000 a month, a year, sorry, not a month. I can travel between Barbados and Jamaica twice every month at their expense. I can leave work Friday afternoon, go to airport, come back Monday afternoon. Never thought I would have it so good at 30 years old. And then at 32, went through this. And I was asked to come back to Barbados 6 months after the broken marriage and become the youngest ever vice president of the Barbados Tourism Authority. And earning $10,000 a month, having an ML car, publicity in the paper. The other vice president is 50, and the president is 52. I am 32. I have no political ties. Like, but I wonder how this little big head, big foot boy from Brayton St. Philip get this type of opportunity. But all because of what? At what age? I made a choice at 30 to be what? For how long? So when I'm happy with myself, who can I be happy with? When I'm happy with myself, who can I be happy with? Everybody, the man happiness depend on anybody? Who do you depend on? I got that job at 32. I was going to become president at 35, earning $50,000 a year. Almost as much as a 70 footballer. And I came face to face with the power of God, who I didn't believe in for 20 years. You're a Christian, right? Yeah. I get humble Christian, all right? And God told me, when you tell God, instead of the coach, obey the coach or not, God made it absolutely clear that I should give up my job to preach and teach. And when I gave it up, 99.9% of my result was married. Headline news on the paper. Whose choice? I said, God made me do it. Who made me do it? Who told me to do it? I got a choice to do what? Do what? Obey or not. That's life. Always a choice. Alright? So guys, this is how I've been doing this in the last 26 years. So I want to encourage you guys, grab it. I don't care what you tell me. I know that if you put this in practice, this will make a tremendous difference in your life. Even to believe in God and obey God. But I will force on you. Yeah? I didn't believe in 20 years. Then you believe in prayer. So good. So let me go now. So come back. Read message number 1. If that's true, who can I control? So here's message number. Who can I control? See how wise you all are? Read number 2. That's not a conjugation number 1. This I like what we talk about a lot, right? Look at number 2 now. Go. Come on, mumble, let go. No, say it like a teacher, say it. Let me go.
The only person in this world that I can control is me.
That's obvious, right?
Yeah.
Sir, stand up, please. Yeah. Who made you who you are today? Who made you who you are today?
Me.
How about your mother?
Barney?
How about your mother?
Oh, she is?
Yeah, you can answer that. How about me? How about me?
Good.
Yeah, good. Now, did your mother make you who you are today?
No.
Your father?
No.
Your grandmother?
No.
Your pastor? Your neighbor? Your aunt? Your uncle? Tell us what message number 1 is. That's not the arm is not even number 1.
I have, you have.
So good. Listen in front of where go.
I have, you have, you all have the power. Go ahead.
Yeah, good. Now, here's what. Who are you?
Me.
Huh?
I'm me.
And who is that?
Ajani.
Ajani, are you a human being?
Yeah.
All right. Ajani, if I suggest to you that there are 4 critical elements of any human being, or 4 critical components of any human being, what will you suggest there are? Just throw one. What's one thing you have as a human being? Just throw one. Listen, guys. Hold on. Listen to Ajani, guys. Listen. Here we go. Ajani, one thing that you have. You have a body. So y'all agree Ajani got a body?
Yeah.
Good. You got 3 more. Let's say the other 3 to Ajani.
I don't know.
A spirit. So you got a spirit.
Yeah.
All right, you only have Ajani, but that's okay. Yeah? So you got a spirit, you got a body. 2 more.
Choices.
And where do you make the choices? A break. So you got a mind.
Yeah.
So Johnny got a spirit, he got a mind, he has a body. One more, guys. What's the other one that Johnny has? Huh? A what? Organ. No, that's part of the body. Spirit, mind, and body. What's the other one? What's one I'm missing? I'll take that. I'll take that as heart. So spirit, mind, heart, and body. What's that? Everybody stand up. Alright. Johnny, lead them please. Now, who does Johnny control? Yes. Huh? Johnny will control? Yeah. So what are the 4 parts of the Johnny? Okay, good. So accent. You make it? Okay, cool. So here's what Johnny. Lead them in number 3 now, please.
I am responsible for my every thought, my every word, my every action, and even my every feeling.
Guys, Johnny the leader. Follow the leader.
I am responsible for my every thought, my every word, my every action, and even my every feeling.
And let's do it with the actions. I am responsible for my every thought. I am responsible for my every word. I am responsible for my every action. And I'm responsible for my every feeling. Go again now. Everybody do the actions, please. Go.
I am responsible for my every thought, every word, every action, and every feeling.
What's that say to you? What's that really say to you? Yeah, that's the word. But what it say to you in your life? No matter what. Anybody? Does this say to anybody else? Speak up again, please. I want you, John, we get that video? Yeah? Loud. I don't say you. I want you, pardon? Come in front. Come quickly in front. Come quickly in front, man. Jeez, just quickly. Huh? That's real quick. Get there. You want to take our good. No, not you. Bring your thing up.
Everybody put first position.
Alright guys, hold on guys. Listen now. Go ahead.
They want this.
Go ahead.
No matter what you do in life, you're responsible.
Go again.
No
Guys, don't laugh.
matter
Give a video. Alright, come quick, one more time.
no matter what yourself doing in life, you're responsible.
I want you to change it in the first person so you can talk about yourself.
The next person to laugh, you're gonna got some extra 12 minutes of running today, yeah? So let me be respectful to Amigo. Yeah? Thank you.
That's alright. Just speak for your heart. Don't forget all the rest of us. Speak for your heart.
No matter what we all do in life, we are responsible.
Amigo, I heart. Who you was talking about?
No matter what I do in life, you're responsible for it.
One last time.
No matter what I do in life, you're responsible.
And niggas like you, buddy. Gentlemen, you may laugh at that, okay? But that is so powerful if any of us could make that faith to really believe that and practice that in every aspect of life. So number 3 for last time.
I am responsible for my every thought, every word, every action, and every
If this man gets all three right now, number 1, 2, and 3 right, y'all can sit down.
One.
Go. What's number 1?
I have, you all have power choice.
Okay. Number 2. Pardon? No, I help you. Sorry. Come on. I can't dribble for you. Wonderful. yeah. Gentlemen, y'all can't sit down. I'm like, it's the only person in this world that I can control this thing. Yeah? Cool. Yeah, okay. Everybody, number 1? Great, number 1. Number 2. Number 3. So number 1 is about everybody. Number 2 is about me. Number 3 is about me. Who's number 4 about? Me. No. Everybody else. So imagine how many people in this world? Billions. 8 billion. Okay? How many can I control? Only 1 out of 8 billion. So you know what I mean? In life, I better teach myself how to deal with the other 7 billion, how many more? Because it's more outside of me than in me. So 1 is to manage me. The second part is knowing how to deal with life. And life will throw any and everything at us, including the close ones and loved ones. So here's number 4, which you already know. Go. When my wife told me what she told me on the 30th of April 1995, what do you focus on? No? What do you focus on at first? What do you focus on? On what did they experience? Yeah? Pain where? Like a belly too. Yeah? Now, you laugh at me again, you laugh. God bless you. Yeah, so here's what guys. Anytime that we spend so much effort and dedicated to what we can control, it very often leads to inaction. Alright? Here's the question. What is my best first response to anyone and anything that I cannot control? Anytime I face something or someone that I cannot control, what's my best first response? What should I do? Ignore. So one thing, ignore. Throw the answers, guys. Ignore. Go ahead.
Say okay.
Say okay.
Walk away.
Oh, walk away. What else?
Say nothing.
Walk away. Say nothing. Go ahead.
I will, you don't care what he said.
I don't care. What else? I missed one. Somebody said, I didn't right. What did I miss here? Someone said something. Huh? I do not know. I do not. Nobody got it right yet?
It is what it is.
Huh?
It is what it is. I can't control you. Let me first speak.
Stop right here. It is what? It is. The manager can give you a bonus for helping us at the very beginning with the whole idea of understand that we can just be control our emotions. And now manager can give you a second bonus for you and that statement.
Now 6 minutes up.
6 minutes. What did you just say? What did you just say? In response to what?
Anything that
Anyone, anything you can control. So here's the word we use. All right? Let's come back. Go ahead. So read number 5, please, gentlemen. Why is my remote giving trouble? Hold on a minute. Read number 5.
I the truth of whom and what I cannot control. Lazy me in a powerful position to always be and not react to every circumstance.
So he said it is what the word we're using here. No, what's the word we're using here? Exactly. It is what it is, he is what it is, she is what it is. Can you tax and what he she or it? Pardon? Accept. Yeah. Can I honor myself? Can I make her faithful? No. Am I bad talking her? We all have flaws. Alright? Accept the fact. Accept she love me. Accept she want me. Accept she keep her married vows. I can't accept that she cared of me. Or if she cared of me, I still should be happy. Yeah? But here's what. Who made me love her? Who made me give her what I gave her? Did she owe me anything? Can anybody keep a promise? And here on top of all that, who caused my pain? Myself. And how I chose to what? How I choose to faith in response to what she said.
I was looking like even teaching this school, like even in a similar position with some people that was in, before even knowing it, I kind of took this road, but I guess because we do it so often, then we really fixate on accepting and then responding wisely. But finishing a relationship for 3 years, I think, it was rough, mentally and whatnot, and that whole process afterwards and accepting and just moving on and trying to build myself and doing what's best for me. When I went to Trinidad, oh my god, my girl, my ex, she's from Trinidad, right? So when they landed at the hotel and whatnot, yeah, like, we met down there, right? We met down there, same day landed, right? And after that conversation, it really hit me, like, this is like over. Like that's it. And she gave me back the hoodie and all that. And that's how you know it done, right? Like going through this, right? Like on the side and living this now, right? It's like she get the hoodie and thing. That was the first thing. Honestly, that's like as I landed in Trinidad, like she met me at the airport and thing, because like we still cool. Like I always try to be respectful. Like everybody like across the board, no matter what. So like we cool. Like we wasn't talking for a good couple months after that, just a couple days before I was in Trinidad. Like she messaged me and we ended up talking that day, right? So she came out with hoodie and everything, right? And alright, she came out with hoodie, it done for sure. That's it. Ain't no coming back. Exactly. You can't get back hoodie from a woman. So like understanding what that was really in my feelings for like that first night they had like meetings and all that, right? And then like 3 days after that I had to give like this big speech. Like I had to prepare everything. I had to make sure that like, I had to cut correct because it was representing the country and all that, like it was telling me, right? And the way I was feeling that first night, like that time I went to the gym, I tried to run it off, I think, because like once you blood pump, I usually feel better. Like whenever you feel depressed or however, or the negative state of mind, you should go work out and you feel better. Yeah. I ain't running.
Yeah, man, listen, Yeah.
I really go 5 kilometers on treadmill farm, and they was still like, feeling sorry, right? But then like I had to come to grips, like you know what, like, you're done, and like I will be here for a mission, like a whole mission. They can't allow me to set a whole few persons affect the performance because a lot of persons trusted me in the position that I am right now, and if I allow my negative thoughts and my negative feelings, like oh hey, my feelings that I really truly done, then I'm not gonna be able to perform. Alright, so I had to accept that whole ending in the relationship and the fact that she don't look at me that sorry no more. My lyrics did not work and I just had to move on. I had to choose to move on, not just forget about her or whatever, because like I said, I still respect her, she's still a good person, like all of that. That was the reason why we was together for 3 years, right? So I had to just accept all of that and then, alright, how am I gonna move forward? I still got meetings to go through, I still got this speech to prep for, I still got debates and all these things to do. Am I gonna spend the whole time focusing on that? I can't really function, or am I gonna have a different mindset? I'm gonna choose to be my best version and bring my A game and make sure that I do Barbados Pro. And I had to really get myself going through all that and thinking, and then had to make that decision. So 3 days later, I gave my best. And all the moments leading up to that, I chose to be present. I chose to like get involved and ask questions to understand how the parliamentary system worked better. I made friends, taught the sweet caddies, and all of that because I had to make that decision, not let that one moment and that one final game back again, all that messed me up. And I had to choose to respond wisely to that, accept the fact that happened, and move on. So I just want to point out that thanks, Earl, because it really helped me. It really came in clutch. So appreciate it.
I can thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Gentlemen, what's the relevance of what he just shared to you and your position right now? Pardon? Accepting truth for what? Can't control what I cannot control. It is what it is. Yeah? But here's what, gentlemen. Who was he representing? And then who chose him to because he represented himself so well, who chose him to do something? For who? Is that different than you? No? Here's what. When he faced a challenge with something that he was passionate about, what do you have to do? Pardon? What's the decision you made, gentlemen? But no, you can say the words that bother me. But what must you do in your heart and you know that don't bother you? Go and speak it. Accept. That what?
It is what it is.
It's what it's time to go it. Alright? But not just move on. But in your mind, allow that belief of that in your mind to allow you to have peace. If you don't have peace in your heart, your real heart is going to be best. So you got to decide that you're not giving anything or anybody power to be a distraction to you. But your mission is what? What's your mission? What's your mission? Okay, what's your mission? And what you're doing now? What's your mission?
Where's the team headed?
Pardon? To do your best. Anything else is your mission?
To be everything you do.
Can you control that?
Yes.
Can you control that? I'm sorry, no you can't. What do you control? And being what? Best in what? Best in what?
State of mind.
State of mind? Best state of mind? What else? You want the best what? State of mind? What else? You want the best heart. And then you want to be able to perform at the best. Alright? That's all you can do. Because you don't control the opposition, but they're trying to do the same thing. But you're going to make sure that nothing they do, or anything that happens in life outside the football, has a negative impact on you and reduces your ability to perform to your best. So don't focus on winning. Focus on being your best. And whatever the result, accept. But make sure you're your best. And if you win, wonderful. If you happen to not win, learn. Because somebody on that day was better than you. But make sure you learn every single thing that you can. So go ahead, what you do?
Very hard.
Pardon?
Very hard.
Focus on myself. Focus on yourself. Who said that? I will choose somebody else. That wasted yesterday. Come, sir. Come. You don't have to, your choice. I asked you to come. Yo. I said your choice. I let you come here. You're running, you know. How are you coming? Yeah.
One round.
Good. 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 You know what a push-up is? Pardon? Okay. How much do you do? On a good day. It's today a good day. It's today a good day. How many of you do today? Yeah. How old are you? Huh? You're 16? I am 3 times. No, I'm more than 3 times. You're 39. Somebody come to me. Here's what. Everyone can do it, right? We can do some push-ups.
You said 10 what?
We got fun if today is a good day. You said 10.
My train this
There
morning.
you go.
You said
So something? And I grab this one time.
Slow and steady.
Sir, I get it down up. Let's go, Warren.
Keep going, guys. Keep going, guys. Keep going. Today was a good day.
Here's the question.
I'm not impressed.
Who's the national footballer?
You are.
I never played at the national level yet. Why am I at 59 able to do? How would they do? How many did they do? All right, 29. I can ask what we get 50.
Easy.
But here's the point, guys. The only reason that you can't do more is because you never put the effort in.
That's true.
And begin with the first word you say.
You understand that? I'm not here to condemn. Okay? But let me get real. When the game is tough and you haven't put in the physical work, how the heck you gonna perform? Yeah? So what I'm suggesting, gentlemen, is part of the preparation. The one part you totally control. You don't control your skill level. You really can't change your skill level much now. But you totally control how fit you get. Understand that? What time you waking this morning, buddy? What time you woke up this morning? We're at 7 I was up at, I didn't turn to the gym this morning before 6 o'clock. Alright? And here's what. You know how many leg raises I do? 50. You know how many sit-ups I did? 40. Why? Why? Because I interested in my health.
Because you want to.
And I want to be fit. You understand that? How the heck you can be a successful national football player if you don't get fit? What's the time? What's the time?
3:45.
This evening?
Like round 6.
So how many punches did you do at 6 o'clock this evening?
I do like 50, but I do like 10 sets.
Good. Okay. So what you can do this evening? What you can do this evening?
Probably got to relax, but how to run.
Guys, relax. You see what happened? He embraced the challenge, you know. Yeah? And it's not just about him, it's about all of us. Are we really, really, really ready for this?
While we're waiting for that, I just want to encourage everybody, going back to the second message. I am responsible for my every thought, my every word, my every action, and my every feeling. Alright? You are responsible. Alright? Not the coach, not the manager, not your parents. You are responsible. As a young man going into life, you're responsible. You know what that means? Just like there is a coach for the team, you have to become your own coach. You are responsible. You are the person that now has to give yourself that positive self-talk. Alright, I messed up there, but I gotta get through. I gotta find a way to improve. You're responsible to find out the ways in which you can improve. You gotta be able to talk to yourself and say, alright, it's time for me to get up and do them 50 push-ups in the morning. I only get 20 done today, but let me try to see if I can get 30, 25 or 30 done the next time. You are responsible for having that mindset and building that mindset. When you fall up and you mess up, you are responsible. But how will you deal with that responsibility? Are you going to cuss yourself out and say, shoot, well, I'm not good, and have that negative self-thought? Or are you going to try to keep encouraging yourself and being your own cheerleader? Because you are responsible. Alright? So let's focus on how best we can be responsible for ourselves and how far that can take us.
So gentlemen, I want y'all, or we want y'all to push yourself the hardest you can before destroying or damaging yourself in the next month. Your plane is number 2. How's US rank? How is Canada rank?
0-1.
Not the manager name. How's Canada rank? How is Jamaica rank? I mean Trinidad rank. Don't tell them. How's Jamaica rank? I mean Trinidad rank.
10?
I ain't playing football, but I know that US is 2. I know that Canada is 5. I know that Trinidad is 11. What y'all rank? You're 15. Tell me y'all cannot be going to tour and don't know the rankings? Not the rankings to make a difference, but you got to understand the reality. Go. No, what I'm saying is not so much. You must know what you're facing. You must have do your research. So here's what. You're the lowest rank. And here's the question. That doesn't mean that's how you're going to perform. But you got to understand that if the what the rank is, you are facing a mountain and a challenge. And how are you going to face it? Put in half the effort, or you put in the whole effort. Push yourself. So here's what, I told I finished at 3:45. Here is why I can do these push-ups and I can do sit-ups and all this sort of stuff, because of this man here. We born in Barbados 21 years ago. I didn't go through the stories. You get the story another time. But he's for real, okay? So here's what. Press play there. Press play, gentlemen. If you don't see the audio go through, I can get the volume raised just on the screen. But here's what. Okay, I'll skip that for a second. On my laptop. Listen. So here's a man without legs, okay? Who had a dream to play baseball and got drafted in the army and was about to, just before he came out in war, he stepped on a landmine. We said, I only lost my legs, I haven't lost my arms. I can't be a professional baseball player, but I can be a professional athlete. And, pause a second. Just go back a little bit. Yeah. Pause. So here's what happened to Barbados, guys. He started doing weightlifting. He got to bench press almost as much as you, 507 pounds. It was working to the world record. And the people with legs who felt offended that man without legs beat them, found the rule book that said, if you don't wear shoes, you can't be recognized for the world record.
Wow.
So they banned me from the sport. But you say, listen, man, you can ban me. I did this to me. So here's what. I can do something else. I can walk on my hands. Then he came up with the idea, people thought it was crazy, doing the Ironman triathlon. So he's the first and the only double amputee. He did it in 1986, ever to do the Ironman triathlon before the wheelchair. Okay, so he started swimming. How far was he swimming? How far were you swimming? Yeah. In a stream that's now. How far are you swimming? 2.4 miles. Without legs. So you know what happened? Well, I go to the beach 3 mornings a week, and I swim from Browns Beach, Car Park, down to the boatyard jetty without losing my legs. I just use my arms. I saw him doing it. It'd be good for him, it gotta be fit for me. Okay? Then he gets off the bike, gets off the water, press both legs. I know athlete, no, who are you doing it for? Myself. When I was an athlete, I was nowhere near this. Yeah? Look, cycling, want to guess how much cycling? Want to guess somebody guess, quickly. How many miles? 10. No, go again. 3. Go. 4. You're going wrong, keep going. 20. Keep going.
15, 20.
I heard 20 miles, I heard 12 miles. But it's what? And then down by you, he goes to the 26.2 mile marathon on his hands and buttocks. He opened my mind to what is possible. And today I want to challenge you guys. Wherever you are right now today, don't be satisfied. That is not your potential. And the only one that can challenge you to believe it and go after it is you. Yeah? Yes, sir. You see, he never stopped because he told himself that he wanted to get to the finish line. He's done the New York Marathon, he's done the LA Marathon, he's done the Boston Marathon. Marathons all around, and all he did with his hands and buttocks. So gentlemen, I ask you today, what are you capable of? I know what he's capable of because he's doing it. I ask you to let what you're capable of be shown in your results. That you did your best. And you put yourself in the best place, the best position to do your best. Amen. Before I get lashes from the coach, I did. Yeah?